Hello, it's Ben here at Glide. This is a second video looking at how you go about raising sales invoices within Glide Time. On this one, we're going to focus purely on advance time entries. This is where you can bill a client in advance of actually doing the work and show that value as a negative amount in your work in progress, meaning that at a later date you can actually crystallize that value within your recoverability figures without actually raising another bill. So first of all, just to show you what we have here on Plug Limited, we've got £228 in work in progress, 4 different entries. So supposing that this client we've agreed to do some work for this client, it's going to cost £500 and they've said, well, I'd like the bill immediately, please. So what we can do is we can go to raise bill, and for every single job or category we will have the opportunity to create an advance fee. So simply type it into the box to the right here and we're going to create here that £500 fee. It's all for the we're saying it's all here for the accounts and CT job. Now if we wanted to, we could also combine with this some normal bill elements, so we could tick some lines, and we could even use the fixed bill total, which would allow for the fact that we're creating the fixed fee. So if I was to put in a fixed bill total of 600, it would allocate the remaining £100 across the ticked time entries. But all I want to do right now is simply create this £500 advance time entry. So I shall go ahead and do that. Just going to put in an invoice reference there. And we shall then see that our work in progress goes from positive 228 down to a negative 271. And that is, of course, because it now contains this minus £500. Supposing then that, time passes and we are making timesheet entries. So for example, here I might say, actually, it'd be more likely that I would go to the accounts job because that's what I created the advance time for. But I'm actually going to record the time just to this general meetings category. It's an important point to make that you don't have to have the time being charged to precisely the category or job on which you created the advance time. Perfectly fine to redeem advance time against a separate job or category. Just has to be on the one billing pop-up. So it has to be for the correct client or of course for a linked client. So you could charge upfront £2,000 for a company including its 3 directors. And if you then charge all of the time to those 4 separate entities, you can redeem that value against linked clients. So I'm just going to put here work done. Let's say that this took us, what's the charge out rate here? £45 an hour, 10 hours, 600 minutes. Let's log that time. That time, of course, is going to go into our work in progress, so back up to £178. And I'm going to go, time has passed, we've recorded the activity. Now I'm going to load the billing pop-up again. And I've got 2 options now. Supposing that I am raising another bill to my client, maybe for £100, maybe for some odds and ends, I could combine that with redeeming my advance time. But I don't have to. If all I want to do here is acknowledge that this work has been done, so I don't want this time entry, here it is at the bottom, look at this £450. Let's say that all I'm doing here is recognizing that that has been done and it's being paid for by this £500. What I would do is in the set value box for the advance time entry, I would type 500. I'll just point out this moment, it's perfectly fine for you to type any number in there below 500. You can redeem part of it in this month, part of it the following week or the following month. Here I'm choosing to redeem the entire amount, and I'm going to of course tick this line of time here, which is the entry which related to me completing this work. The line of time only added up to £450. I've been a little bit efficient here and I've actually completed the work in a quicker time than I'd budgeted with my client. So I'm just going to either in the set value box or down in the fixed bill total, going to type £500, and the bill has to add up to 0. You can't be creating a bill with a minus amount. but it's perfectly fine for it to be 0. When it's 0, the system knows that this is what we call a kind of allocation only invoice. So this is going to remove the advanced time entry from work in progress. It's going to remove my time entry from work in progress, and on this date, it's going to kind of crystallize the fact that we have done this work. So it's just moving on all of your reports where they're time sensitive and you're looking at kind of billing and value generated, all those sorts of things. The key thing we've done here is we've got the £500 of value in the correct time period. It's handy in a few situations. So for example, if you're charging a set amount every month, but actually maybe you don't do too much work in a few months because the client's a bit kind of weighted towards the year-end work. Of course, this is a nice way of ensuring your figures aren't distorted. Equally, if you want to bill, if you've agreed an annual fee and you want to raise a bill, let's say you want to raise a £3,000 bill and tick all of your timelines, but you know that you've still got to have a meeting or you've got to sign off or submit something, you could of course just allocate a couple of £100 into the advance fee. And what that would mean is that when you come to your next kind of period end and you're looking at your billing, rather than having to write off that time and have a kind of negative impact on your figures, you can just redeem the advance time instead. So yeah, just to clarify, you can have the 0 bill, or of course you can tick extra timelines. And as with the creation of the advance time, you can still perfectly fine to use the fixed bill total. So in here, I can say that this is, let's say, a £250 bill, and that will allocate the value across those lines of time that I've ticked. So in this case, it's saying we're billing 250 and we're redeeming 500, so it's allocating 750 across the 3 lines of time. So I'm just going to generate that bill, and that will take all of those entries out of work in progress. So if we come back into it now, the advanced timeline is gone, as have the entries that we have billed. I hope that all makes sense. Just to kind of link this into a separate feature that we'll probably do a separate video for. You are entirely able to credit note these particular bills. So my 250 bill here, we can credit note that, and if we do a full credit note, it will absolutely return any advanced time redemptions back to their value that they held prior to the bill. And if you had created advanced time, it will extinguish that advanced time creation. Final point to make, you can do both on the same bill. So should the need arise, you can both create and redeem advanced time on the same bill. You can't kind of create £100 and redeem it. That would seem kind of pointless, but you can create new advanced time and redeem old advanced time by allocating it to real time or expense entries. Okay, hope that helps, and of course if you need any help at all, don't hesitate to get in touch with the support team here at Glide. Thank you.